Hello and welcome to the Property Legacy Podcast. We are back for episode 9 and we've got very exciting news, haven't we?
We do.
We would like to introduce you to our #1 Amazon bestseller in the real estate category. We have published a book. When I say we, I've done all the stuff to make it look nice and Steve's done all the words inside. But we are now published authors, so we're going to actually tell you all about it today.
Yeah. So when designing a book, obviously you need a lot of words to put into it, but it all starts off with an idea. I wanted to start writing a book about different strategies to go alongside the podcast, to go alongside any courses we do and the coaching that we do with people on a one-to-one basis. So I looked at all the strategies. So it's very simple to have one for buy-to-lets, one for HMOs, one for purchase lease options, that type of thing. So we've actually got a series of books all sketched out. And over Christmas in 2023, I wasn't allowed to go out to work. I had to stay at home and do family things. So while everybody was asleep in the mornings, I wrote 4 books. And then turned them all over to Alice and said, right, I've got this book and I need it editing and I need it putting on Amazon and I need it sorting out. And we did it, turned it around in what, about 5-6 months?
Yeah. It's another one of them things where Steve comes through with an idea. We go, we're not really sure how to do that, but we figure it out and look at us now. So
this is it.
It's very exciting. So we're going to talk about the process of what we've done today and kind of hopefully give you guys a bit of inspiration so you can do it too. You are now a published author.
Yes.
Which, I don't know, if you'd asked me a year ago if you were going to be a published author, I would probably have been like, okay. But yes, you're a published author. Mm-hmm. So what made you actually want to write a book?
All the way through the business, we've always talked about doing little ebooks for marketing and things like that. So I wanted to put down all the information about particular strategies and also include what we did in that strategy. So then it's not just a theory book, but it's actually talking about what we've done in our portfolio and how we did it and how other people could do it as well. And in the property world, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You can just copy what other people are doing and just go through the process and get your own portfolio set up and make money from it.
Yeah, and I think as well, obviously you're talking about it from your point of view. It's like with anything, with any book that you can find out there, you can find information, you can go on Google or social media and find information, but it's finding that information and from someone's perspective that's actually done that process and come out the other side of it too. And I think that's more of an inspiring thing for people. People want to learn from people and they want to know what went right and what went wrong and what lessons you learn from it. I think it definitely helps strengthen our business as well because it's an incredible lead magnet into other kind of services that we do. So we've got QR codes on the back of the book, which are great. So you can print whatever you want on here. So we have one for the podcast and we have one for our Linktree for our business. So just from people purchasing something like this, they have access to us at any opportunity. We were at a networking event the other night. I didn't have business cards with me. I just brought the book, and it was like, "Here's my business card. Scan this, and you can connect with us." So it's a really, really good way of actually creating something physical that you can take somewhere with you. And
it's a good conversation starter
as
well.
Of course.
Networking. It's something to talk about, something to explain and get the conversation going.
And we were having a conversation in the car this week, and it's so strange because it's May 2024 now, but at the beginning of this year, like, we hadn't started the podcast, we didn't have our property event in Manchester, we didn't have a book, and now it's, the last few months, if you think about what we've done and what we've managed to achieve, what's it going to be like in another 5 months' time or another year's time? So it's been a really exciting journey for us and for the business, and we've developed so much knowledge and understanding from what we've been doing. So at this rate, I think we're going to have to write a book about how we wrote the book, but we thought it would be a really exciting thing to talk about on here.
It's possible. We could definitely do it because basically you can make a book out of any bit of knowledge that you know. Obviously there's a lot of people out there using ChatGPT to write books, but it doesn't give you that personal touch. It doesn't give you the information. It's good for stats and things like that and structuring a book, but the actual words you put in there and your point of view is important.
They need to be from you. And that's, I think, what's drawn people to the book as well, and will continuously draw them to the books that are coming out in the future. So I remember when you wrote the book, the first initial book, well, you came and told me about 4 of them, and I nearly had a heart attack. But and you were looking into how you were going to publish it. So do you want to talk a little bit about that and that experience?
Yeah, so obviously at the very beginning, I thought we'd have to go and send the manuscript to multiple agencies and multiple publication houses and all this kind of stuff. But nowadays it's totally different. You can do everything yourself. You can publish with Amazon. Amazon do their publishing for free. It doesn't cost you anything. They do all the printing for you. They send it to all your customers. They deal with all the reviews. They deal with any returns. They do everything for you, and you can still sell it through Amazon. So it'll go to libraries and bookshops around the world. So it can be picked up by people right the way through. But at the beginning, we approached a few people, and I had a contact. He did the initial editing and proofreading, but we had issues where the proofreading, I thought a proofreader would kind of make sure you read it and you understood it. But it was more to do with making sure the full stops and commas are in the right place and things like that. And it wasn't quite what we did. So I enlisted Paul, a business partner and friend. He's always that guy that he's always telling everybody that this spelt thing's wrong, or they mispronounced it, or it should be I, not we, and all that kind of stuff. So I gave it to him, and once he stopped laughing at the original manuscript, he helped me sort out all the English, because I left school without any O-levels in English, so I was never going to be the guy that wrote a book. So this for me is a bit of a mind-blowing thing, but so he helped me to get all the wording right, making sure things weren't repeated too much, making sure that the structure was good, and making sure that it made sense. So that was all done, and it was tedious rewriting bits and tedious going through and putting all the commas in and stuff like that, but at least that was done. And once it was done, that's when we handed it to you, and you did all your formatting, and we started seeing that we could actually do a lot of this stuff ourselves.
Yes, we did a little bit of formatting, didn't we? And then in my networking group, one of my friends, Lindsay, she is a published Amazon author, and she actually teaches people how to do it. And it seemed like it kind of appeared at the time that we needed it, which was really strange, because I've only known Lindsay only over the last couple of months, and she's incredible. She also runs her own podcast. She's a published book author. She does lots of incredible things, and I reached out to her, and she was doing a Zoom masterclass with like a group Zoom session. And I reached out to her and I said, we're really interested in doing this. We've actually got a book ready, but we're not sure about publishing it, and we decided to go down the route of doing a 1-to-1 with her. And it was incredible. She really took us through everything that we needed, and she was there to support us through any kind of niggly bits, because sometimes writing the book is actually the easy part. It's the formatting it and putting it together and then uploading it into Amazon and literally
getting it accepted.
Yeah, getting it accepted. But she was blown away, wasn't she? When we were like, the book's ready, the book's going live, she was just like, how are you doing all this so quickly? We were like, this is how we work though, like it needs to happen.
Well, it's we've got, not only have we got that one book, we've got another 4 books live on there that's classed as low quality or low quality information. So that's more of a usable book for when people go looking at properties, making sure they get the information they need. And you've done some books yourself on your own business, so it's gone. I think between us we've got 8 books now on Amazon. One that's number 1 bestseller, and obviously the ebook that took some head scratching to get the ebook sorted out, because you had to make sure it's in the right format, and then obviously changing between formats throws all your formatting out of the way, and it was a nightmare. But it was done.
So we created the book. We were happy with it all. It got accepted from Amazon, and then we were like, wow, how the hell are we going to market this book? How are we going to get people to buy the book? So one of my friends has got an Amazon bestseller, and since we've been doing the book, I know a couple of other people who've managed to get bestsellers in categories. So asked a lot of questions, spoke to a lot of people, and the thing you have to do is make sure in one 24-hour period, you get enough people buying the books. So even if you launched it a week ago but didn't tell anyone about it, it's not the day it comes out. It's just you choose one day, and that has to be the day that you market everyone to go and buy the book and support you. So we did that. We planned a kind of bit of a marketing campaign. We did some kind of teaser stuff. I threw together a little surprise book signing for Dad.
It's a bit surprising.
It was a surprise, but I was just like, let's just do something that he's not going to expect and like, you know, like celebrate the fact that he's done it, because it is a massive achievement. So the day before the book launched, we all kind of got together. He signed some copies of the book, and it was very sweet. And then
it was actually nice weather, because on the day of launch it wasn't.
Yeah.
So it would have been awful if we tried to do it on a day.
Yeah, and then the day of launch was probably the most stressful day of my year so far. You were so chill, and I wasn't. I was like, Steve, what are you doing? How many social media posts have you done? I need you to post on your personal account. I need other people to be posting. I was fixated on the fact that we needed to get this #1 bestseller, because it would have been so frustrating if we didn't even try.
Yeah. But the thing is, the social media side, that's what you do for a living.
Exactly. So I was like, it has to work. Yeah. So, you know, it's on me if it doesn't. So it really, there was a lot of time and effort that went into it. I don't think I've ever refreshed Amazon so many times in one day on my phone. My partner actually had to take my phone away from me after about 9 o'clock at night. It was like, Alice, stop now. You're done.
Yeah, the last post I did in that day, I was just about to fall asleep, and you said, you need another post.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh my God.
We need to get these people who are, you know, some people are online late and they've not seen it. They've been at work all day or busy. I mean, we know what it's like. Sometimes we're out all day working, networking, whatever. You get home, you see it, you've not seen it, and you go, oh, I get that. But it worked, and currently, as we're speaking, we are on our 4th day of being #1 bestseller in the real estate category. So that is a massive achievement. It's crazy. Also, as well, like, so you put your book in categories and subcategories. So we were really high up as well in the bigger categories. So I think we got to like number 13 for business. 1 for industries, we're number 4 for industries. But for business, for industries and real estate, we were in the hot new sellers #1 in all 3 of those. So again, we were that hot new seller in all those categories for that first day, which is a massive achievement. And we were in the hot new sellers on actual Amazon as well for the physical book copies too. So it was an exciting day, lots of refreshing. I was checking in the morning, and I rang Dad I think it was about 12 o'clock, and I was like, right, what can we be doing more of? What's going on? What's happening? And then it was about 3, 4 o'clock, and I looked, and it was #1, and I got to ring you and actually tell you.
Yeah.
Which is like really exciting.
But the daft thing is, because when you set up with Amazon, you get the author central, so you have an author's page, and you have all kinds of stuff, so
which
you can do marketing.
Which is a bit shoddy, isn't it?
Well, yeah, because nothing was showing up on it. I did find that I'd not quite set the filters quite right, so readjusted that. But it was showing, because the system shows ebooks being sold immediately, printed books, it would only actually count them once they've been shipped.
Right.
So that could be a day or two later, or the next day. So trying to get the numbers was painful at the best of times. But the actual ranking system only ranks you throughout the whole of like Amazon.co.uk, whereas the actual sections only comes up on your book details page. So you just have to keep an eye on that. And from there, you can then see that whether you're #1 for or whatever. It's quite strange. But it doesn't really tell you much.
No, but we've seen it.
We've seen it. We've got photographic evidence.
We've got photographic evidence. And the thing is as well, once you have a #1 bestseller on Amazon, that's it then. You can market yourself as a #1 bestseller for the rest of your living days.
Even if it was just a colouring in book.
Yeah.
You know, if you had a colouring in book that sold really well on one day, you're a bestseller.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's the way it is.
And, you know, again, it's a good talking point to tell people. If you're going to an event and introducing yourself as a best-selling author, people are going to be interested in that. They're going to want to know more about it. So it's another kind of string added to both of our bows. It's strengthening our business. You know, it's giving us another way of people to find out about us.
Well, it's that social proof. It's
Yeah.
that all that you need to put on your websites. It's all that you need to put it on your e-signatures and all these kind of things, and LinkedIn, and which we still need to do. So that's what we're going to be concentrating on over the next few days, and making sure that it's talked about by every last bit of our marketing, because that's a really good.
It's just been a bit of a whirlwind though, hasn't it? Like, we're only 4 days since we launched it, and you know, obviously we could always hope for a good result, but you never know until the day, because we could have chosen that day and 5 people could release a book that day, and it could have been fight or flight, like, against each other. There was one book that was released the day that we launched, but it wasn't in the real estate category, but it was in the business and industry category, and all day it was like ours were just swapping over all the time, and I was like, this person's definitely like doing a book launch today, I could tell. But no, it's been a really good experience. I've warned you, he's got 3 more books ready, and I've said we can't launch them, we've just launched a book. So
No, but we can start the editing. And we can start getting people to proofread, because we've learnt one thing: we need people to proofread
it.
that don't know what we're on about.
Yeah.
Because that way, if they understand it, then we know we've got onto a winner. The books we've got at the moment, we need to flush it out a little bit more personality side and the case studies. But yeah, it's ready to go. So we've kind of put it through. We've got a process now set up, so we can then feed it through over the next 3 or 4 months.
Yeah,
and do that.
The plan is a quarterly book release, so every 3 months. I think that's a fair amount of time. It means that we've got that time to really get them together, and it's all been a bit of a learning curve and a learning experience. Like, when we've brought the book to format, then when we formatted, sometimes think like certain spaces have gone missing, little bits like that.
That's it. We found that even just putting it on Amazon, it changed the format slightly.
Yeah.
So some spaces disappeared, so 2 words then became 1 word.
Yeah.
And that was only brought up once we had a couple of orthocopies that we could check.
The good thing about Amazon though is when you launch your book, you can order an author copy before it goes live, so you can check and see. And as well, with selling through Amazon, it's, as you said before, it's print on demand. You don't deal with any stock, you don't deal with any printing or any postage or any of that kind of stuff. You just make royalties from your book. I'm going to use one of my books as an example for numbers, because I'm not 100% sure with this one. So I've purchased a low content book on Amazon, and it's $8.99, but everyone that purchases it, I make £3.83 in royalties. So once you've created that book, you know, you have to market it and tell people about it, but every single sale of that book, I'm not dealing with postage, packaging, any of that kind of stuff. I'm just making £3.83 per book. But what you can do is you can order your author copies. So my books are $8.99, but they're £2 and 1p to print.
Yeah.
So if I order 50 books for £100 and then I sell them in person, making a £6.99 profit, I actually make a £250 profit. Again, I've not done the printing, I've not paid for any of that. All I've paid for is £2 per book. So you can sell it online, you can have all these things linking, but we could do an exhibition space at an event and bring our books. There's so many different things that you can do with them. And again, it's another thing for your business, for your branding, for your QR codes. And as we've said, we've got the physical books, and then we've also got the lower format books. So we've got notebooks, we can bring more kind of stuff out. And it's fun to do as well, to actually physically see it and hold it and have it as a physical item.
It's strange to have a book that you've written, and there's pages, and it looks really good. Because Amazon really know what they're doing.
Yeah.
But it's all comes down to multiple income streams.
Yeah.
So if you have little things coming along, they all compound together, and they all add up to getting you out of the rat race, or getting you to be financially free. And that's all that property is another format of doing that. You know, you could invest in gold, you can invest in stock markets, you can invest anywhere around the world, but it's all about making sure that you got small amounts of income coming in from different areas, so that if there is a price crash in property, then you've got other incomes coming in that will keep you going. And it just allows us to kind of look at all these different areas and kind of explore and kind of become, maybe not the expert, but we'll work on it. We'll get there.
Yeah, but we wanted to come on and share that we've done a book.
Yeah.
And it's a #1 bestseller.
Definitely. Thanks for sticking with us this episode. Now you should know how to write your own books and put your own books on Amazon. Nothing's stopping you doing any of these things. You can do journals, you can do all kinds of things to make some money, and it'll all help you build up your investment pot for then going buying property. So it's great for you to stick around this long. We've not bored you to death, obviously, and we're going to be back next time.
It'll be our final episode of season 1.
Season 1.
Season 1, or can't believe we've almost done 10 episodes. But thank you so much for tuning in. As always, if you want to support us, we are on Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok, Instagram, and obviously you can listen and watch us on YouTube, Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and we will see you soon. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.